Hey, this is Russ. Hey, it's freezing out there. I woke up this morning, negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Way too cold for me. Anyways, it's been a while since I made a video here on the Russ is Right channel. I've been tied up with my sister who came into town for a week, did a bunch of things. So if you want to find out what we did and some of the things I'm going to talk about today, actually it's over there too, go over to the More from Russ channel. Yeah, subscribe there too if you haven't already done so, okay? So today I got to thinking, based on the weather and comments that I had recently, I wanted to talk about storage of your e-bikes during the winter. Yeah, people ask me, hey, where are your bikes stored? Hey, you all know where it is. Yeah, it's all over the house. It's in the living room, dining room, now also in the family room. It's in the garage, and it's in the downstairs office room. Yeah, it's all over the place. So, yeah, I had a friend of mine came over to visit with my sister who had come into town. And so when she saw the bikes, I mean, she knew I had bikes because she doesn't live too far from me. And she's seen me on the road before while I was riding my e-bikes. And when she saw the quantity of bikes in the living room, she goes, oh, man. Yeah, it's out of control. But she wanted to know, where are the batteries? Because, people have always heard about these battery fires, right? She goes, where are the batteries? I go, they're on the bike. She goes, they're on the bike? She says, they're in the house? I go, well, yeah. Where else are they going to be? But she says, aren't you concerned about the fires? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the fires, right? So I told her, I says, a lot of times these fires happen with batteries that are not the greatest batteries. They could be some Chinese batteries. The quality standards aren't that great. And I said, a lot of times when those fires happen is usually when these guys are charging it, and they might use the wrong charger, not the one that's supposed to go with it. Or sometimes the construction technique of those batteries is not that great, right? So a lot of factors could come into play because of that. But she was surprised that I stored them inside the house. I go, yeah, it's kind of cold out there. So what about the bikes that are in the garage? Yeah, well, hey, I take the batteries out of those. I bring the batteries inside the house. Okay, now, this whole thing with the battery thing, people are going, isn't it safer out in the garage? It probably is, but it's not good for the battery to be out there freezing out there like that. For us, outside weather right now, negative 10 and negative 8, right, degrees Fahrenheit. I think the high today will be something like a negative 2 or something like that. Come on, that's way too cold. So you have to bring it in. All right. Now, some people store it inside these fireproof bags. I have a couple of those. Magicycle gave me a couple of those. And I look at these things and I go, really? Will that contain it? I don't know. It just looks like vinyl to me, right? I have no idea. So, and then I kept thinking, well, okay, let's say if the material is made that way, what about the zippers? But those aren't fireproof. Is that just going to burst open? So, yeah, not the greatest. So you got to find ways to store it. But I've got way too many bikes right now in the house. I have about 20 bikes in the house right now and one scooter, all right? So I can't store it in that. I kept thinking, well, do you put it in a gun safe? What do you do to keep it contained? I don't know what you can do. I think the only thing you can do is just be safe in how you charge it and be safe with everything else, okay? So so the whole thing I was thinking about this batteries out in the garage. A lot of people just leave their bikes there. Now, the garage is kind of tough because even during the summer, it can get really hot in the garage. And I've got one of those garage door opener remote things, and they'll tell you the temperature in the garage and the like. Yeah, sometimes over 100-something degrees in the garage during the summertime. So if you leave your bikes in the garage, I would say it's probably better to take off the battery. Don't leave the battery on the bikes that stay in the garage, okay? As far as where you store it at that point is up to you, but I'm thinking just in terms of temperature-wise, not a good idea, okay? And, of course, we've talked about this many times before, too, that you should store your batteries at about a 70% level if you can. If you're going to use your bike right away, go ahead and charge it to your 100%. That's fine, whatever you want to do. But if it's going to be a long-term storage, yeah, drop it to about 70%. It's better for the batteries on the long run. Yeah, probably safer too. Yeah, I think they say that, charging your batteries to a full maximum isn't even the best way to do it. So anyways, if you hear any squeaking in the background, we have garbage pickup day today, and I can hear the garbage truck squeaking as it's going by and picking up the garbage on the streets and stuff. So, all right, here's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Now, I mentioned before that 2 new e-bikes will be coming in, and they arrived. Yeah, they arrived last week. One came in on my birthday, and then the next day, the other one came in. So these are bikes from Lectric Ebikes. Now, these are the bikes that we rode out in Arizona, and it's finally come in. Now, obviously, I cannot ride these bikes, not in this weather. I mean, we do have some snow still lingering around, but not much. I mean, but it's just way too cold. I mean, I'm not heading out there, and they know it too. So the first bike that came in, I'm going to show you some photos here that I took of the bikes. First bike that came in is the Lectric Expedition 2.0. Now, this is the longest bike I've ever ridden. Yeah, it's a cargo bike, so we expect it to be a longer wheelbase and the like. And yeah, it's a long bike. Now, I asked them for the dual battery long range. Okay, so these are the better batteries, long range, and 2 of them. Now, you can buy this in various configurations. You can buy just 1 battery. You can get a short range version, costs you the least amount. You can get 2 batteries, or you can get 2 long range batteries or 1 long range battery, whatever you want to do. Okay, they have that on the website. Use my affiliate link to get their website, and if you decide you want to purchase an electric bike, use that link. That helps me out because then they know it came from me. They give me a very slight commission for it, not much, okay, but they do, and it basically tells them that people are watching my channel and they're interested in buying the bike because of me. All right, so anyway, that bike came in very easy to build. Yeah, all of the electric bikes are very, very easy to build. All I had to do was take off the through axle in the front. Through axle is a thicker axle. It's not like that really thin, quick release type axle thing. It's a really thick piece of metal that goes in there, and then you take that off, and then you put the front tire, line it up, slide that thing back in, and screw it in. Yeah, how hard is that? It took me more time to take the packing material off of the tubes because they wrap it in brown paper type of thing. It took me longer to take that stuff off than it did to actually build the bike. So once again, that one probably finished up in about maybe 12 to 15 minutes. I was able to build that bike because it's really nothing to build. Really, you're just putting a front tire on. so anyways, that came in, and then the second bike is the Lectric X Peak 2.0. Now, this is kind of like a mountain style bike, right? So it's a little bit taller. Now, this bike had a problem with the box. Yeah, I mentioned this on the More from Russ channel. Yeah, the UPS put a huge hole in the side of the box. And I looked at this and I'm going, I could actually see the bike from the outside of the box because you can see this big gaping hole there. And I said to the driver, I says, oh, this thing's, damaged. The box is just like, I got a huge hole. He goes, oh yeah? He didn't care. Anyways, it didn't look like the bike was damaged, so I just, took some photos and let them go. But overall, yeah, these carriers are really not careful. But I will say this, Lectric's boxes really held up as far as keeping the bike safe. Yeah. Now, this bike took a little longer to build. I don't know why. It's the same basic thing. You do have to put the handlebar on. Okay, so you have to take out the center stem, screw on the center stem, and then put the handlebars there, and then screw the handlebar on. And then you also have to do the through axle for the front tire. So it took a little bit longer in that sense, but still ultimately fairly quick. I think this one took me about a half hour or so to put together. Now, the fastest one was that XP 3.0. I think I did that in 8 minutes. I'm not kidding. Now, the thing is, I do move quickly. Now, one of our viewers, Richard, he said it took longer. He says he doesn't understand how I can do it so quick. I've built now, how many? 48 bikes, I believe, something like that. So I know what I need to do, and I move pretty quickly. And I just cut the box open, pull everything out, and I start ripping out all the materials. I take everything out. I don't read the instructions. You should, okay? If you've never built a bike, you should read the instructions, but I don't because I know what I need to do. So I do it. And their claim to fame is you don't need tools, to build it. Now, of course, on that latest X Peak, you do need a hex wrench, and they include one because you're putting the handlebar on. Okay. Other than that, you don't need tools. Yeah, it's an easy build with theirs. Now, both of these bikes are pretty much what I expected, and they both have the long-range batteries. But I did ask for the X Peak 2.0 to come in the step-through version, and this one is I think they call it Arctic White. It's not exactly pure white, right? It's kind of a little dimmer than that in white. I actually kind of like it, yeah. Some people said, is this like an ivory white? No, it's not yellowish, okay? It's just not like stark white. It looks really nice. So this is the step-through version. So I'm really anxious to get onto that bike. I rode the step-over version. It was nice, but I think the step-through is even better. To me, it feels better. It looks better. Everything's really nice about it. I think these will be really hot products for them, these two bikes that they just came out with. So we'll see. Now, let me go back to the Expedition. Now, they gave me everything with it. I got the rear seating on it. I'm looking behind the camera. I see it there. They got the rear seating for kids. If you want to do that, they give you the running boards where the kids can put their feet, and that protection shroud over the wheel. Actually, it's engineered specifically. I remember them mentioning this in Arizona, that they said, if they just put a panel or something there, there's wind noise that goes through that you hear. So it's got like little slits in there, and that eliminates a lot of the noise. So yeah, they really went right down to even something like that to make sure that the thing is as quiet as it can be. The only thing that they didn't have in stock yet is the thing that the kids hold on to. I'll put a photo here so you can see what it should look like. That stuff will come in, they said, maybe late February. It's okay. Can't ride it anyway. Now, I asked them for all these extra things, and you can get these for free, too, I believe. I think they had it for free. I don't know if it's still for free, but they had a promo where you can get all these accessories for free. I need it because I plan to put what can I call it? What is that thing called? A cooler. A long cooler in the back, and then I'll strap it to that, bungee cord it to that, right? So that's what I plan to do with it. So when I want to pick things up, Mrs. Wright and I go grocery shopping with our bikes. Not now, but during the summer months. And so if I have that cooler there, we can just throw everything in there. But to hold it in place, having the hand hold section for where the kids would hold on to it, that makes it a lot easier to strap something like that down on. So yeah, so if you're going to get one of these cargo style bikes, you might want to consider doing that. Yeah, put something on it. Make it a little bit easier. You'll see it a little later when I start using it. Okay. Anyways, so those bikes came in. Now, can I ride it? Technically, yeah, but it's cold. There's no snow, so it's fine. But I don't go out on anything less than 50 degrees. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that the bikes came in safely, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the batteries. And by the way, the batteries from Lectric are UL certified. Yeah, so it's UL approved. Actually, all their stuff is UL approved. Even the bike itself is UL approved. The wiring in there is UL approved. So it's becoming more of an issue now too. And I've been noticing too, just watching YouTube and seeing what all the other guys are talking about. Been a lot of talk about regulations and stuff, that this year might be the year that regulations start hitting us. Yeah, I tend to believe that. So I don't know where things will sit at this point. I thought too, whether the older bikes that are class 3 might be worth more money down the road if they eliminate those things. I don't know. And do you really want one? Because, if you're riding it, are you no longer legal in your state? It's a whole gray area now. And some have said, it's because of all the influencers talking about it, it's making it worse. Well, how else do you get your news? That's the thing, right? How else do you get your news? And it is the big thing that people are talking about this time of the year because all these regulations are coming down too. Yeah. And then tariffs, people are talking about tariffs too. Is everything going to go up in price? It might. It very well might. I mean, if tariffs start hitting all the bike manufacturers, yeah, their costs are going to go up. And that means our costs are going to go up too. So that's another thing. So it might be a very interesting 2025 year for e-bikes. Keep an eye open to see what's happening. And then, of course, continue to watch, all the various channels that you do watch, because we'll probably end up talking about it. Yeah, as we hear about things, we talk about it. That's just the way it is. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. More videos to come. I'll talk to you guys next time.